Yeah, baby!
Hey!
Let's go. We made it.
All right.
Let's go, baby! Oh my
Hello.
God, dude!
Hey,
What's
buddy.
going on, brother? How we
We're
doing?
on,
What is
we're
that?
rolling.
Was that Blake?
This is Grant.
Grant, what's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Grant, you got no more poopies? You're ready to roll, big man.
We're ready to roll.
Where'd it go?
All right, can you go watch your show? Can you go watch your show? Let me
We're
just
on,
move
Case.
them to
Let's
the
go,
other
man.
room.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Give me a second.
Frazier, I'm so excited you're on. It's unbelievable.
I know. It feels like a miracle. Let's go. Please go watch the show with your brother, please.
Dad?
Go. Go sit on the couch.
Yeah.
They might be coming in and out of here, so just be prepared for
It's
that.
all good. Hey,
Okay.
tell the fans what happened just before we got on here. Look what we got.
God.
Ready, fire, aim.
Well, you know what? This is why you gotta love a guy like Todd Frazier, because he's a grinder. He's like you and me, Chance. And he's like,
we got
I'm
it
gonna
done,
find
baby.
a
We
way.
got it
I'm
done.
gonna find a way. He went to the phone. He found a computer he didn't even know he had. He's like, honey, do we have a computer? He's like, yeah, it's in the other room.
Let's
It
go.
didn't even have a camera on it. He was like, it's like 1987. And then he found a
Make the
laptop.
buttons in the background here. That's all.
All good. Good look.
Oh, Frazier, you are the greatest. We worked it around to get Frazier in the audience, and then we knocked and brought him on.
Yeah, we
So,
did it.
hey, Frazier, you're the first guy that's ever come on like this, which is awesome. It's next level.
It's all right. I think we're good. Let's get this thing rocking. So I got,
Okay.
yeah, I got the kids and myself. So if they come in and out, just be prepared.
All good.
No worries, bro. It's all good. So, all right, man. Let's get started, Chinchy. First off, hey, Frazier, we always break down what we got on, right? So I first off, I just want to say, when people live their life and they want the American dream, we got the American dream on today, man. This guy right here is the American dream. Like when you're a little kid, you know, first you poop your pants and then you get going, you start playing Little League baseball, and then you're like, hey, who doesn't want to play in the Little League World Series? I do. I never did. Right? And then who wants to win it? I do. I never did. Who wants to be the MVP? I do. I never did. Well, this guy did. So Frazier goes to the Little League World Series, wins the whole thing, right? Well, first time since 1990, I believe. It was unbelievable. You know, or what year was that, Frazier? You
Yeah,
guys won
1998.
1998. You guys won the whole thing, which is unbelievable. So that's the first American dream. And then he goes to college, plays in Rutgers, right? Hometown, kind of from Jersey, Tom's River, doing his thing. Goes to Rutgers, gets drafted. You got drafted first off by the Rockies right out of high school.
Yes, by the Colorado Rockies. Go.
Colorado Rockies.
in high school.
Yeah. Then you go to Rutgers.
Then it was a late draft, so yes.
37th overall pick in the 2007 draft. Let's go down the career real quick. Okay, there's a dream come true. Then he goes to the big leagues, right? Another dream come true. Averaged 28 home runs per season over 11 careers. That's a dream come true for anybody because I didn't come close to that. 40 homers 2016, two-time All-Star, won the Derby, won the home run Derby in Cincinnati, right? Which is the only other person to do that was Ryan Sandberg, I believe, with the Cubs back in the day, with his brother pitching to him. Oh my God. You literally can't make this stuff up. That's how great this guy's life is. Then I talked to Frazier a couple months ago. He's like, hey man, the Buccos just released me. I'm like, that's probably the best thing that could ever happen to you is the Pirates release you, right?
Exactly.
Pirates release him. Next thing you know, he's in the Olympics. Then he's back in Tokyo and he's winning a silver medal for the Team USA, man. So Todd Frazier, bro, let's give a round of applause for the absolute American dream right here, man. Oh my God.
You guys are the best, man. Hey, you went down the whole list there. So, hey, honestly, like you sit back, like you wish you'd played better, this and that. But honestly, at the end of the day, the list for me is unbelievable and very, very blessed to have opportunities to be playing this wonderful game of baseball. So it's been great.
You know what? You know what's cool, Phrase? Like I look back at my life too, and I think to myself, man, baseball has because I can hit a baseball, because I put in that work when I was younger. It's my life. You know, I owe so much to the game of baseball, and like it's amazing when I look at you, Phrase, and I just see like, wow, this is a guy literally going back to when he was in the Little League. Has had so many experiences because of the wonderful game of baseball, which is absolutely unbelievable. And wait, one other thing, your nephew Carson, right, who's Charlie's son,
Yes.
just had a big hit the other day, right, to send Tom Tripper to. Tell me about that, brother.
Yeah, man. First off, the team they've won everything so far, leading up to this Little League World Series. They walked the guy in front of him to get bases loaded, down one run. You never put the tying run at second, in my opinion. And then he gets up there, 2-2 count, rips a double off the wall, bang, bang, boom. They end up winning 6-3. The kids are going nuts. Such an unbelievable moment for him, and just overly proud of him, man.
Oh my gosh, dude, that must did it take you back? Like would it take you back instantly to being 12 again?
Without a doubt. So I went to the game before that they lost, and to me, I'm like, oh man, I brought all the bad luck. I was going home anyway after that, but at the end of the day, they end up winning. And even if they lost yesterday, which they did, it's Pennsylvania team is really good. They have a good shot too. So they're still moving on. They're actually on their way to Williamsport now. I FaceTimed him the night before. He's in his boxers going crazy, fist pumping, doing all the eating pizza. They were going nuts. So they're on some kind of high, man. They're on a lot.
Dude, that is so great. Well, I think one of the coolest things, Phrase, when I look back, when I look at your story and how awesome it is, I look at your brother Charlie. You have two brothers, your brother Charlie and your brother Jeff, right? And Charlie was drafted by the Marlins. Jeff was drafted by the Tigers. But Charlie was it seems like he was the jet setter, right? Was he the kind of guy that you looked up to? And how, with your family dynamic, your dad, and your mom, your whole family, can you talk about that? Like what is there? Did you just eat, sleep, and breathe baseball in the Frazier house?
Yeah, pretty much. So it started. My dad, he's 6'8". He's a big dog. He's really big. He went to Morehead State on a full ride for basketball. He was good at baseball too, but with his size, he was basketball. Mom was an All-American swimmer. So it started off with those. So they're both athletic. So, and then it brought down to both my brothers. Charlie was actually the basketball player, man. I think he had like 1,700 points in high school.
Wow.
He dominated, but his senior year, he took off as a baseball player and he signed 6th round with some good money with the Marlins. Only made it to Double-A, but he kick-started it. We watched him all the time. Then my brother Jeff, he got drafted 3rd round, and my uncle Tom always told me, he's like, it goes 6-3 to 1. You're going to be number 1 and end up being a 1st round supplemental pick, and we go from there. So it's in the blood, man. Now my nephew doing his thing. My son's doing pretty well, so it's a lot of fun watching. I'm gearing the kids up. They're 7 and 8, gearing them up for Williamsport right now. So next year, hopefully I'll be the head coach of the All-Star team if all works out well. And I'll have 3.5 years to groom them to get them going because, listen, it's gonna be something. This is what we do with Tom Jr. We build them up, baby. We build them up to be the best, man. There's no second place. Let's go. We get the Williamsport at bus.
That is so great. Todd, one thing on my end that I can't relate to most major league players with anything other than the fact that I played ball at Columbia and I grew up on Long Island.
Sure.
And I always love the East Coast, Northeast guys because can you kind of explain to people who don't really understand? You spent most of the time you're in a gym, rubber balls, all winter. You come out for the spring and it's still 36 degrees outside. Like, can you explain what it was like growing up here and getting to the big leagues?
We're built kind of different. That old saying, we're built different. A prime example, I went to Rutgers and, right down the street from you guys, and we're playing in a parking lot because our field is drenched in snow, and we're using the yellow dotted balls. The pitchers are the fence. So we're hitting these balls, and now these balls are skipping. So you see these pitchers, they're like, oh, no, like we're hitting scudness. And if you let that ball go, you're going about 200 yards to go get it. Or you're trying everything. They're wearing catcher's gear out there. And I remember I used to just absolutely crush them. I used to try and do it on purpose. So, man, we're built different, man. We don't care. The obstacles come our way. We don't care. We just want to give us a ball, give us a bat, and just watch us dominate every year, and talk shit while we're at it. That's basically it. We're gonna let you know. We're gonna let your aunt know, your uncle, your sister,
Yeah, absolutely.
and we're gonna let them know, hey, we're here, and guess what? You're never gonna forget us every time we come and play.
Oh my God,
Awesome.
that's so great. That's so, did you? I know. I remember back in 2006 when I was in the World Series. Right, it was like 31 degrees in Detroit, and I remember. I remember Nike sent us some good the heat gear, right? And I remember coming out, and I was in the heat gear, and I was a little hot, right? But I remember right before I take the game phrase, I go, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was like, the only advantage I have to all these guys that are out here, the Dominican guys are like, oh man, it's freezing. I'm like,
they're by the heater, yeah.
They're by the heater. I'm like, hey, I got to step up. It's 31 degrees in Detroit. We got flurries before the game. I ran in and took the sleeves off and put on a real light one. I was like, just mentally, because I was like, you know what? I'm from Pittsburgh. I swear to God, I think it helped me. Did you ever feel that way? Like sometimes in April when it was cold, like, no, man, we played in this growing up.
Without a doubt, you got to let them. You got to prove to them that you're stronger than them. They go out with no sleeves. So the only thing I'd wear those old ass cotton shirts that were baggy. I didn't like it tight.
Right.
Like that heat gear, I felt constricted. So I'd wear I'd get the double X. I'd get it bigger, so baggy, so I can roll the sleeves up, and it would be kind of busheled on the arms here, but I had space to operate. You know what I mean? So
right.
If that's one thing, but I always did pull the sleeves up, put a big old, 1980s wristband on so it hold up. All these technologies, and everybody's like, man, you're not wearing this and that. I'm like, bro, get out of here with that crap. I just get another wrist sleeve that covers half my arm. Look silly, but still dominate. I don't care how I look, as long as you dominate.
That's so true. So Frazier, I remember still, I think I was down there in 2009, the year after I retired. I was at Reds camp, and I remember talking to you in the dugout. It was 2009 or 2010. You were in the big league dugout. We were talking. I was like, man, I like this cat right here. Like, he's like I think personally, bro, I've been around the game a long time. I played in the big leagues 12 years, but got to know a lot of guys even through MLB Network and stuff. Top 5 personalities over 150 years in the game. Todd Frazier, top 5.
Oh,
no, seriously,
man.
hands down, bro. Hands down. And top 5 teammates just watching what you did. But your time in Cincinnati, man, like when you leave, I was number 21, and I always look at the guys that wear 21 and Hatteberg and Dickerson, all these guys.
Yeah.
But then when I saw you wearing it, I'm like, oh man, now this is the guy like that I really relate to is Todd Frazier. And dude, I felt like you were Cincinnati. I was the mayor in Cincinnati, but you were like kind of took over the reins in Cincinnati as the mayor.
Like the governor.
Yeah, they loved you there, bro. They loved you there. And like, can you talk about that a little bit, like your time in Cincinnati and like what it meant playing for those fans? And
it meant everything. I didn't want to leave. I told Castellini and Jockety, I said, I've done a lot for the city, the home run derby, everything. I'm coming off a really good year. And I told him, just sign me long term, man. And he told me, long story short, Castellini said, I'm going to put that on my shoulders. I'll make that happen. I got traded 2 weeks later. I said, damn, you can't trust that. That's when I really learned in 2015. You can't trust a word any of these business people say, man. So I learned the hard way. I should have known better, but no, for real, the fans were awesome. I still have love for those fans in that city. They give me praise all the time whenever the home run derby comes around.
Yeah.
Say how awesome the moment was. And for me, I was so happy there. I lived in Fort Thomas. I bought a house.
Yeah.
It was the perfect place for me. Devin Mesoraco was my neighbor, and a couple football players were there. It was unbelievable. I wish I played there for the rest of my life. That's how much fun I had.
Yeah. What about for you? I mean, I know you represented the Reds twice in 2 All-Star games, right? And when you go back and look at that 2015 Derby, because I was there, it was like one of the coolest things ever. Like to watch you, first off, to know that Charlie, your brother, was pitching to you, and it was the new format. That was the first year, the new format that they're doing now, right? With the, you keep ripping. Can you take us through that Derby? First off, one of the questions I want to ask you is, What's it like when they take the turtle away? You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, it's a different beast. It really is, because all of a sudden nothing's covering you. You know, when something's covering you, you don't you don't feel like anybody's there, nobody's watching. But yeah, it's different. It's pressure filled. You know, you hit a ball to the left, you might take out somebody in the stands. Like nothing's stopping any of these baseballs. So you foul one back in batting practice, that's really embarrassing. So it's like you got to figure it out. But it was awesome. My brother and I, we practice it all the time in the off season. Our last couple rounds, we're like, all right, home run derby rounds, you know, and just in case. And you know, I had a really good year. Had a really good first half, 25 homers. I'm like, Chaz, I call him Chaz. And Chazzy, listen, we got this, brother. Here we go. Like, this is the real deal, Holyfield. So the excitement grew. My middle brother, Jeff, was my hype man. He's like, let's go, you know. And long story short, I'll tell you something. I forget who sang the anthem, but it was a big group that everybody knew about. After I won the first round against Prince Fielder, my brother told me this because I guess I blacked out. And he said, they're like, yeah, good. Like, I ran in tunnel, like, excited, like, good job. And I went like this for like a chest bump. And I knocked the lead singer out like 10 feet back.
Oh.
And I like pimped it and kept walking and told my brother Chaz, like, what did you know what you just did? I'm like, what just happened? I said, bro, you just knocked that guy back, one of the most famous singers. I got to remember what the group was.
It was that group. Wait, I know it. It was
The Moon?
Oh
no.
Walk the Moon. Walk the Moon.
Walk the Moon. Yeah, wasn't that their Cincinnati group? Yeah, there's Cincinnati group.
Oh, this guy I knocked him back 10 feet, and it was just it was unbelievable. But yeah, it was cool.
Those guys
really
all weigh like 125 pounds too.
Yes. Yes. But he got up. Charlie said, he's like, yeah, like he was excited. So,
That's awesome.
I mean, I was going bonkers, man.
Well, he has a story on the other end that Todd Frazier came off after the first round and knocked me down.
Yeah, my shoulder's never been the same since. He probably said, so.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm down for the count. But that being there was so electric when, you know, you came down to that last round to win it. Can you take us back to like what you were thinking in that last round? And were you telling Charlie, hey, middle in? I
was so exhausted. Yeah. Nobody sees there, but I'm telling him, throw the effing ball. I kept screaming at him. I'm glad they didn't do that, because I remember the umpire after the second round told me, he said, listen, I'm going to have to call you out if you keep swinging before. I said, listen here, bud. And the jersey came. I said, listen here, bud. I said, are these fans going to be screaming at you or me? This is my hometown. I don't want to hear it again. And the guy looked around. I said, look at these fans. We're not talking again, I told him. He's like, all right, never mind. So and nobody really knows about that. But, yeah, the excitement was there. I was exhausted. The fans actually willed me to win. And like I said, that's why I appreciate him so much. I mean, guys were telling me they live 5 miles away and heard the electricity and everything going. And it was such a fun time.
Well, I remember walking out of there and like obviously you went back to the clubhouse, but the satisfaction on the crowd's faces, you were the buzz walking out. Oh man, Todd Frazier, you know, you could just feel the energy of like, oh man, our guy won it. Like our guy won it. And I know for me, loving the Cincinnati Reds fans, like to watch you do that and give them that moment, I just think, man, what a special night.
It was something that you dream about. People like, oh man, home run derby ruined your swing. The only thing that really ruined, I was exhausted. The second half of the year, I was drained. If you're a professional, if you can't figure out your swing after home run derbies and people complaining left and right, that's the biggest problem. You can get back in the gym and work out and figure it out, but I was totally exhausted. Was it worth it? I'd do it again every single year for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, dude. I love it. I want to talk about that for a second, about your swing, because, you know, it's a little, you have a little different of a swing phrase. Like I feel like you're really steep to the ball. And the reason you had so much pop is like, man, you could get the bat head out with the best of them, bro. Like it was unbelievable. You had some absolute thunder, you know, in that bat. Could you talk about your approach at the plate, and where did you first hone in the technique for your swing?
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's talk about back in the day where we didn't have any lessons. You know,
right.
We just went out to the park and swung, and that's what it was. Basically park ball for me. Leg kicking when I was younger, swinging out of my shoes. I've always had the strong arms and wrists and forearms, right. And I developed an arm bar. You know, not the most ideal thing, but as you come here, move for a second, but as you come through with the arm bar, if your arm stays stiff and goes around, you're in trouble. I always came and had that bent arm. For me, my hands always stayed back, and as I went forward, I was out in front of a lot of pitches, but if my hands were back, it doesn't really matter because I'm strong enough, and most guys are, to stay, if you're out over in front of the ball, to at least touch the ball with your bottom hand, and you can still hit it 350, 400 feet. So I understood what I was a raw hitter, always have been, looking for a fastball and reacting to the off speed. And when I got that fastball and I didn't miss it, the ball's going to go far away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, man. So was that your approach to the plate? You hunt the heater? Like, were you ever a guess hitter? Like, I talk to guys, I'm like, I wasn't a guess hitter because I'm like, it's too hard. Like, I can't imagine like guessing curveball, guessing slider. If you got in trouble with the fastball, did you ever start guessing or did you always hit off the fastball?
Always off the fastball. Honestly, I'll be honest. The later in my career, I started guessing a little bit more because these last couple of years, these pitchers are downright filthy.
Are you serious?
Throwing 95 plus with movement. I mean, if you're throwing under 95, I had a shot. So it was basically first pitch. I'm like, all right, I'm going to guess slider here in a certain situation, runners on second, third, and a fastball coming, I'd almost get hit in the head. I'm like, all right, I don't know why I would ever think that. Let's slow it down, get the heater, and react to everything else. So I was always at fastball first, react to the off-speed second.
Yeah, I love that. And it's funny. Jim Thome said that too. Like as a power guy, he said later on in his career he started to guess a little bit. Fraze, take us, man, because you're still in the game, bro. And like, I've been retired since 2008. I'm still around the game because of MLB Network, but you're still in the clubhouse in these last few years. What's the difference between when Todd Frazier came in the league in 2011 to the clubhouse now in 2021? What's the biggest difference in players and what goes on?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is these younger guys coming in and they think they're the cat's meow. But I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. I remember when I was young, I would sit in my locker, look in my locker, and when someone spoke to me, it's like that kid in class, just kept quiet. And
right,
it's different game, and which is fine, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, whenever I come in a different situation, I like looking around. I use my eyes. I'll ask questions, but at the same time, you got to understand, where you're at in your career. It's like, listen, I got to prove myself, and guess what? I'm not going to be the rambunctious one. I'm going to be cheering my guys on. I'm going to be there, and I want to learn. And I think this is the thing. Guys are learning, but at the same time, when they come in, it's just like, oh boy, it's a different scene, and you got to move up with, changing with the times, changing with the guards. It is what it is. Yeah. And, I would sit back and watch and see these guys get a few laughs here and there and understand, what some older guys would have done to me back in the day if I had something like that. But I don't say nothing. I would just sit there and relax. Say, listen, you want to work? Let's go. You want to talk? Go ahead and do your thing with your boys. But I'm here to work and I'm here to have fun and, try and help the team win.
Yeah, we had CC Sabathia on a couple weeks ago, and he had a great line where he's like, why does this kid have the same car that I have?
They're walking into the league. Where's their financial? What are you going to do?
So true. It is funny. Now, I always wondered too, Fraze, because like I look back at guys we faced. I mean, I remember facing Billy Wagner throwing 100, Randy Johnson's throwing 100. Joel Zumaya's throwing 104. There was guys that threw hard, but nowadays, everyone says not like today, man. Everyone's throwing 97 to 100. So has it evolved with your years in the big leagues when you first came into now? Like, when did it start getting where everyone's throwing 98?
Yeah, I think it was what year for me where I was like blown away. Like, this is just insane. Probably around, I would say 2018. Where it was just like everybody that came in, I'm like, holy cow, this is unbelievable. And then you get that one pitcher coming throwing 92. And I remember somebody told me, Canerco used to say this, hey, this is the guy that pays the mortgage. And listen, if you weren't hitting off that guy, you weren't getting your mortgage paid. And then you knew eventually you were getting sent down. So you had to find a way to get 2 or 3 knocks that day. If you didn't, you're like, God almighty. I'm either going to be riding a pine or I'm I'm up Schitt's Creek, man. I got to figure it out. Yeah.
I tell my kids that all the time. I said, you think we're living in this house because of the 3, 4, 5 starters. We're not. We're
not the 1 and 2. Yeah,
not
you're
the 1 and 2.
You're
1 and 2. You're just grinding to get the 1. Yeah, just
one.
give me the 1 or give me the 0 for 3 with a walk. Just get me out of here.
Something. A blooper, a jam shot, hit by pitch. I mean, you name it. Let's go.
Right. Let's go. So dude, you end up leaving Cincinnati and you end up going to Chicago for a couple years, and you had some good years too. What was your experience like in Chicago?
Yeah, it was fun. I had 2 different managers with Ron Ventura, who I love to death. We have a really good relationship still. A real good players coach, let us just filter out the clubhouse all the time. And then I had Rick Renteria, which is a really good guy, bilingual, understood the players too as well. And he got, I wish he was still there. He kind of got the bad end of the stick there, kind of grooming everybody up, and they said, see you later. And that's the business part where if I'm still in baseball, I don't know how I'd react. I don't know what I would do. I would be blowing up everybody. But yeah, I mean, listen, really good managers, really good team. You see what they're doing now. The first year with Tim Anderson, that was his first year. Me and him are close as all heck, even closer now. I think we talk all the time. His first year was tough. He is one of his best friends passed away. Had a really tough time. He still hit, don't get me wrong, and then eventually he took off. So hopefully I taught him some good things over there on the left side of the infield, and you see great things happening now. I couldn't be happier for the team and for him.
Frazier, why did he take off? Because I remember thinking when he started raking a few years ago, winning batting titles, I'm like, man, I thought Tim Anderson was just going to be an average big league player, could pick it a little bit. Now I'm like, this guy's a superstar.
Yeah,
like, what happened?
He became his own self. He figured out at the end of the day, I'm going to be me, and then that's what I love about him. No, I mean, no filter. I'm going to come and let you know at the end of the day, this is me, take it or leave it. And he said he didn't care what anybody thought. And next thing you know, look at him. He's dominating, and he's got power too, man. People don't understand. He's got a great glove and great arm. He can pick it. I could see him winning a Gold Glove here soon.
As well. Well, the Iowa game the other night, the Field of Dreams, and that was him walking it off was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I couldn't be more proud of the guy. Yeah, it was a really cool scene.
Now you played with Abreu too, right? For a few years, Jose Abreu. Can you talk about him? Winning the MVP last year, but this guy looks like such a professional hitter. Like, what is it about Abreu? What makes him so good?
Silent assassin, I call him, man. He just goes about his business. He's a guy that works his butt off. He gets out, you would never know. He hits a home run, you would never know. He's even keeled, great defender, he's got a great arm, and he's actually got a little speed that most people don't really talk about. He can get going, so he's a guy you always want behind your side, and I had a blast playing with him.
Who we got, Frazier? Who we got joining the show?
Hey, what's up, Blake?
Hi.
Hey, Blake, how you doing, my man?
Come over here.
Good.
He's got his Polar Bear Pete jersey on right now. He's
nice.
A monster Polar Bear fan. So.
Oh, why wouldn't you be? Wouldn't you be?
Exactly. That's
and Frazier, you were at practice today with Blake, right, and the boys, and
yes,
man, you guys were getting after it, like, right?
Yeah. No. Hey, does Daddy get after it or what? Oh yeah. Daddy lets him know. Like I said, we're trying to groom him. He hit the ball okay. His defense was really good today, and
nice.
Sometimes he gets a little. He likes to watch the ball when he hits it. He's got to get. He's fast. So we got to get him moving down to first base, right?
What position we play? What position?
Where they got you?
Mostly outfield.
Mostly outfield. A little second base too.
Outfield. All right.
That's an athlete right there.
Third.
Yeah, he's going to be all right.
You can pick him up and put him down a little bit, huh?
Yeah, and he hits lefty, throws righty. So he's.
There we go, baby. You really groomed him. You're like, hey, listen, son. You're
Let's
gonna
go,
hit left.
Did
you do that? Did he?
No, it's just natural.
Natural.
Yeah. So
wow.
I got lucky. So hopefully we can keep going with it.
I did that too.
Dude, I want to tell you, bro. My life at the Jersey Shore. I used to go to Surf City every year, which is in Long Beach Island, bro. Right?
Oh yeah.
And so I was 4 years old. I was 3 years old. My dad told me we're on the beach playing wiffle ball, and he puts the bat in my hands, and he puts it in. I set up lefty with a righty grip. And he kept turning me around righty, and I'm like, no, like this. And my dad goes, oh man, I think he's a lefty. So he changed my hands. He's like, let's get it on, baby. Yeah.
That's all. Hey, there's no better feeling as a dad when you see something like that when they hit the ball. More nerve wracking watching this kid play than playing any sport.
Dude, so nerve-wracking. And that age, too. What, Blake's 7, 8?
7.
7 and 8-year-olds, yep.
Yeah, like that 7, 8-year-old. It's so funny, bro. Like I remember back to my two sons, Andrew and Jake, playing when they were 7 and 8. I think it's more serious at 7 and 8 than when they get to the big leagues. You know?
You hear me? I'm coaching. I'm like, throw the ball. I'm screaming my brains out, and they're looking at me. I'm like, oh my god.
I know. What phrase? What are you teaching at this age to those kids? Like, what is Todd Frazier bringing to practice? Give me your mentality for these kids.
Yeah, I mean, at 7 and 8, it's still kind of tough. You have your kids that are really good. You have the kids that are still trying to figure it out. For me, first of all, it's having fun. Always having fun. And then next thing, I want them to hit the ball. Like striking out for me. All right, see you. Striking out for me is the toughest part. Like if you're a kid going up there making contact, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? So with some of these kids throw pretty hard at 7, 8. So at the end of the day, they're playing on bigger fields and making contact, knowing where to go with the ball. I think we have 2 practices a week, and for me, the one practice we don't even hit. We do situational stuff, defense. And I think that helps them along the way, understanding, all right, run on first and second, hit the third. Don't try and tag the kid, touch third. Kid tries and tag him. So the more we can reiterate and go over situational defense, the hitting will definitely come at the end of the day. So for me, is knowing, because defense is going to win in these games for sure. There's going to be a lot of errors. There's going to be a lot of mistakes, and I hope they understand that.
Could you see yourself managing one day? Like way down the road when a kids are done? Because you sound like it. You sound like a manager. Right?
Yeah, I definitely could. As long as Casey will be my third base coach, we'll be set. So
I'll do it.
I could see it.
I'll do it, bro. You just give me a call. I'll be there. I'll be waving guys in. The only problem, Frazier, with the third base coach is like you still get booed. Like the first base coach, you're like, hey, bro, get your signs, give me your gloves, get a good lead. You go to third base, you send somebody, they're like, you suck. You suck.
All right, I'll put you on first base. I want you to have the easy job there. You got the outfielders. That's all I am.
Perfect, bro. I just need the cush job. Let me just put guys on the shift. Hey, get over 10 feet. Look at your wristband nowadays. I don't know what the hell they're doing there, but look at your wristband. Like they're Tom Brady. You know what I mean? It's like unbelievable.
Of course.
So, Frazier, what about you, brother? Like, man, you're a New Yorker at heart, and you go back to the famous picture of you after winning the Little League World Series. Your team, Tom's River, gets to go out and be with the players before the game, and you end up with Jeter there, right?
It was unbelievable.
It's all right. It's all right.
Get out.
I love it, dude.
I will help you when I'm done here. So yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable, honestly. Where I started and where I finished, shoot, man. I pinch myself all the time, hanging out with guys like Derek Jeter and everybody else along the line and getting a silver medal. I mean, I pinch myself every day. It's the coolest thing. We had a parade here. When I got home, it was awesome. I'm going to show some highlights of that on Instagram soon. And I couldn't be more thankful to this town of Tom's River and the people in my family, of course.
Yeah. What was it like for you growing up a Yankee fan and then playing for the Yankees?
Oh, even better. I mean, I played for both teams. At the end of the day, I think both Mets and Yankees, I saw both sides of it. I saw the pain that the fans that I love, my friends, go through with the Mets, and the grit of the Yankee fans, like, why we should be doing this and that. So it's the battles back and forth were unbelievable. Like I said, like in your house, I got both jerseys up, ready to rock. It was pretty cool.
So great.
Yeah.
What was the difference though playing for the Yankees and the Mets? Like what was the difference there? Because you had a pretty decent time with both of them.
I mean, Yankees. Basically, when you walk in there, it's like you're held to a different standard. It's tough to even explain, like how much fun I had playing for the Yankees. I only played half a year. It was a great atmosphere. CC Sabathia was the big dog there. Anything happened there, CC was, he would take control, which I loved every second of it. And then we had a really good veteran core. The Mets were great. It was a great team, but I just felt like the pressures there were insurmountable. Like even with the media was nonstop trying to find the negative about everybody. They're trying to, it was like paparazzi. They're trying to find negative about everybody. And, some guys could handle it, some couldn't. But, we had a good team there too as well. We just couldn't figure it out at the end. Injuries were a big thing. But I had a blast in Queens. I love playing for the Mets, and I'd go back there every day of the week if I could.
Well, talking about the harshness of it, we were lucky enough to work with Joe Girardi for that 1 year in between his stints. And I'll tell you this, and without lying, Todd, he cried talking about what you did for him during that one stretch where they were going to literally string him up. Like, that's how much the fans were destroying him. And when you came out, we all saw it like, oh my God, thank God somebody helped this man, because first of all, it wasn't his fault, but he spoke so highly of you, and we all saw that back then going, wow, thank God this, actually as a Yankee fan, you're like, thank God this guy is on this team, because I don't know if many other people would step out of their box that way.
Yeah.
Talk about that guy.
And I was only 3 months into on this team. So, it was real simple. I said, let's go, let's pick him up. And that's really what it was. And then we all came together and won 3 in a row. So, he says he'll never forget it. It's something that, was real simple for me that came natural. I do it for anybody too as well. But yeah, man, we have a good bond ever since that. So, it kind of kickstarted us a little bit, and away we went. So.
Fraze, take us back a few months, brother. We had talked. You got released by the Pirates. You were on your way home, and you mentioned, man, I think I'm going to try the Olympic route, see if I can get on the Olympic team and maybe see what we do. And then obviously what happened, out there in the Olympics, you guys win the silver medal. Can you take us through that whole thought process of getting released by the Pirates and then where you're at right now?
Very confusing and good times at the end of the day. So. I'm in Wrigley. I've been struggling. Don't get me wrong. But my last game, I played 2 for 4, RBI, run scored. I had a really good game. Like, all right, I'm coming back. I figured some stuff out. It took me about 30 at bats. But first baseman goes down, tears his groin. I'm like, all right, my time to shine. Here we go. I'm going to play first for about a month and a half, get rocking. I come in. We had an off day coming next day. They said they're releasing me. I'm like, here we go, this business part, man. So they released me and picked up a guy that was actually batting less than me. I'm like, oh, my God, he's an outfielder too. No disrespect to the guy, but you're bringing in an outfielder, and when we just had a first baseman going, I could see you bringing someone up from AAA or something. But
right.
Just so confusing. It was just kind of a crazy show over there. I don't know how to explain it. It was a blessing.
Do you want to play? Do you want to keep playing? Would you come back?
Yeah, I want to. I want to get picked up now, but the way baseball's going, it's tough. You see all these older guys, they're getting shipped in and shipped out. It's crazy, but it was a blessing in disguise. I got released. A week later, I'm in Florida practicing with the USA team. A week after that, we're playing. We end up winning the qualifier. I have some of the best games in my career. And I thought, honestly, I was going to get picked up then, if you want the truth. Like, hey, he's back. He just went through 30 at-bats where he struggled. I didn't get any calls, whatever. Go play in the Olympics in Tokyo. Had a great time. Ended up winning silver medal. Another blessing. And I'm just sitting back waiting to play again. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, so be it.
What was the coolest part about the Olympics?
Meeting everybody. I mean, you walk 30 feet. I met a guy from Hungary, a girl from Brazil, a guy from Barbados. And we're talking about the regimen and all this stuff. I was talking to a kid named Bodie from Canada, a heavyweight lifter. And we're talking about, what do you eat, dog? Tell me. I want to be big like you. We're shooting. He's like, tell me about baseball. Just the specimens that were there, seeing these people, it was awesome. It was really cool.
I saw your videos from the opening ceremonies, and that looked like just a freaking absolute party.
What was awesome.
That like? What was that like?
Cool. It was cool. I mean, you walk 1 foot and you're talking to all different people from Great Britain to the Netherlands to Poland. I mean, it was just such a cool atmosphere, cool event, and something that'll have my memory bank forever. So for sure.
Dude, I want to know, because it was one thing I look back at my career and people do ask you, did you ever play in the Olympics? I'm like, I almost had an opportunity, and I got drafted in 95 by the Indians. 96 was the Olympics. And they're like, hey, you could have a shot to be the first baseman. I'm like, well, I just got drafted in the second round. I got 223,000 reasons I got to go. I got to sign. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
So I ended up never, getting that chance. What is it like as a baseball player to wear that USA across your chest?
There's nothing better. I don't care what anybody says. I'll argue with it to the day you die. You put that USA across your chest. it's like nothing you've ever experienced. It's the third time I've done it, but this is the first Olympics. You're playing for pride. You're playing for your country. You're playing for your family. You're playing for, not only the people but everybody who's fighting overseas. I think about those people. I mean, there's no severity in what we do, but for them, I want them to understand that, we play for you guys as well, men and women, and we thank you very much, and we take it very serious. So
Wow.
It's something that along the lines, I know I'll have opportunities to coach USA, and there's nothing more than what I want to do is be a part of that. And, to bring home silver was a great feat in itself.
Well, we couldn't be more proud, bro. Like I followed you on your Instagram and all that stuff, and every step of the way. But like for us back here, we took that seriously too. What you guys were doing, the games that you were winning, and it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun too when you were doing it. So I want to say thank you, Frazier, because I was following you. I was living vicariously through you, bro. That's what I was living vicariously through you.
What
About Eddie Alvarez, man? Can you talk about that? Just what? The awesomeness?
Unbelievable. I mean, he came in second in a team event in speed skating, and and to have another opportunity to go and play a different sport. Listen, in 2024, they're changing baseball, which stinks. I don't know why. To breakdancing as an event. So I've been working. So if I can find a way to get back there, I would love to. But Eddie Alvarez, a feel-good story, and he's got 2 silver medals, which is pretty cool.
It's so great, dude. It's so great. With Frazier, we do this thing called 9 and 90 that we, it's a kind of a fun little thing. Chinch, take it away. All right,
real quick. This is the last thing. I'm gonna let you go. Those kids are about to jump out on you. So this will be quick, okay? Basically, this or that questions. I ask Sean first, he answers, and then you just pick it up on the back end. All right, ready?
Cool.
All right, first one, Case. Are you a text me guy or a call me guy?
I'm a text me guy. I used to be a call me guy, but I'm a text me guy now.
I'd rather call. I'll call. Get straight to the business. Hey, why'd you do that? Bing, bang, boom. See you later.
All right, perfect. That's a tough one. You can only listen to one of these Jersey boys for the rest of your life: Frankie Valli, Frank Sinatra, Bon Jovi, or Springsteen. You got to pick one.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with Springsteen, man. The boss. I gotta go with the boss.
Man, because I love Frankie Valli with all my heart, but you can't go with old Blue Eyes, man. I'm going with Sinatra for sure. Right. Frankie Valli's right there,
There you go.
I don't know how he hits those notes. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right, ready? Okay, scarier thought: playing first base with Bonds at the plate in his prime, or playing third base with McGuire at the plate in his prime.
Oh my God. I got really quick story. I saw McGuire hit a ball to Brett Boone at short. I thought it was a knuckleball. It almost hit him right in the teeth. He caught it. He fell over. I was like, oh my God, that's the hardest ball I've ever seen hit. But one time I'm holding on Richard Willie at first with Bonds hitting Frazier. I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally crapping my pants. Like, this is unbelievable. I'm scared to death.
Oh my God.
Bonds hits me. He's up there. He's like, bam. Hits me a one-hop shot. It's right on my cup. Would have hit me right in the nuts. I'm like, I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it. I put on. So I would have to say Bonds because I had an experience and I thought if I don't catch that ball, I don't have 4 kids right now, guys.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I would say Bonds too because at third I can go in the outfield if I have to.
Beautiful. All right. The Jersey Shore reality show. Loved it or hated it?
I was not a big fan.
I loved it. I did. I know a couple of people on the show. It was,
cool.
My wife and I, we watched it all the time. It was fun. It was basically my backyard, so it was cool.
Who was your favorite character?
My favorite, I would have to go with. It's a tough. I go with JWoww because I became friendly. We became friendly. I go with JWoww.
I like Ronnie, man. What's his name? Ronnie, the guy was just a meathead.
I'm gonna knocking people out cold on the boardwalk.
All right, just a few more. Which of these Winter Olympic sports do you think you'd be better at? The luge or cross-country skiing?
Probably the luge because I'm cross-country skiing. That'd be a grind right there. Get me in the
luge. I get to lay down on the luge. That's it. So That's the only reason.
All right. You're swimming in the ocean at the shore. A great white approaches. Do you freeze in fear, or do you have the stones to punch it in the nose?
Well, if it decides to take a bite out of me, I gotta start throwing some haymakers straight from Pittsburgh.
I mean, I'd have to be in that situation. I mean, for me, my first move than anybody when I have a problem is throw a punch. So I think that's, they say to poke them in the eye, so I think that's poke them in the eye.
Perfect. All right, two more quick ones. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. I was gonna say the 1,000-pound great white comes up on the Frazier, and he freaking goes Three Stooges on him like bam.
I get him.
All right. Would you rather wear somebody else's dirty underwear or use their toothbrush?
Oh, no.
Oh man.
My son's. I'm going with dirty underwear.
All right, perfect. That's it. You don't even get to answer, Chris.
Oh my God. Well, like Grant likes his dirty underwear. Every once in a while, he drops a big bomb in there and walks around the house, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like he did 50 minutes ago.
All right, very last one. Between Sean Casey and Todd Frazier, Skyline Chili eating contest. Who wins?
Oh, Sean, without a doubt. Sean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's all he talks about. You ask me about pizza or something around here, you got no shot. Sean definitely takes the cake on that.
Yeah, I'd have to go with the 5-way extra cheese, side of chili, 2 conies, and and have a chance on the to absolutely feel like Grant 50 minutes ago.
Just everywhere, bro. Oh, man. You wash your hands, you still smell it. It's great.
It's so true, man. It's so true. Hey, Frazier, brother, I hope you get back on the field because, hey, listen, anyone out there listening, Todd Frazier rakes. We saw it at the Olympics. He's going to do it if he comes on your team. He's going to make everybody in that clubhouse better. He's going to win you a championship. So, Frazier, man, hope you get back out there, brother. Love you so much, man. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thank you,
This has been an absolute blast, dude.
Yeah.
Absolute blast.
He's the best one. Thank you,
beautiful
guys.
family.
Love you, man. We'll talk soon.
Okay, Frazier, I'll talk to you, brother. Love you, buddy.
All right, bye-bye.
See you, man. Yeah.
Peace, man. We did it again. Love it.
We did it, dude. Oh, my
greatest.
God.
He's the greatest. We had some serious technical difficulties getting on, and thank goodness we had one of the nicer people in the history of the world to join the show, right?
Dude,
he was everywhere. He was in his car.
Absolute one of the greatest. I don't know if we have it on there, but I before you came on, Frazier and I are trying to get on there, right? And this is unbelievable. So we're trying to get on No Filter, and we're grinding. Thank God we're baseball players because we're both grinding. We're like, we're gonna figure this out, bro. Like, it's like Randy Johnson dropping a couple sliders on you. Eventually, I'm going to go to left field. Like, I'm going to get him eventually. Like, so it was like we were using our Major League Baseball skills to get on this call. But right before he was going to get on, he's like, Case, hang on a second. He's like, oh, come on, Grant. He's like, did you poop your pants? Did you poop your pants? He's like, yeah. So Grant comes over, and I think it's on the stream, but I have the conversation with Grant and Frazier. And Frazier's like, oh, man. He's like, how do you deal with sitting in this poop? He's like, for an hour? He's like, it's not okay. He's like, you can't sit in your poop for an hour. And that was just one of the funny. It just showed like the side of Frazier. Yeah, dude, total relatability. I can't tell you. My son Andrew used to go in the corner and we're like, Andrew, like, you got to start pooping on the potty, bro. Like, this is not okay. Like, you're 2 years old now. You gotta clean it up, or however old he was. And I'd be like, I'd see Andrew, then I wouldn't see him. And if I didn't see him, I knew he was in the corner just grinding a poop out into his diaper. And he would just be like, I'd be like, Andrew, what are you doing? He's like, I'm like, nothing. I'm like, are you pooping? Are you pooping your pants? So it's so funny, like seeing Frazier doing the same thing with his kids, and like thinking back to like just doing that's so funny. But it just shows the human side of one of the best hitters, best power hitters we've seen in the last few years. And I hope he gets back on the field because I think he's just a little bit short of 10 years. And as a baseball player, bro, 10 years. If you can get to 10 years, that's the magic number, man. And I know he's about 2 months short. So listen, somebody's got to bring in Todd Frazier.
Again, but not even just forget about, he will hit home runs and he will play the field, but just the type of personality, like just what he said right there. What he did, he was only with the Yankees for 3 months when he stepped up, and Joe Girardi was getting destroyed. But he's got that kind of person. Like, how could you not want a guy like him on your roster no matter what? No matter how much he plays.
He's a leader. That's why it was like so annoying with the Pirates. I'm like, you're going that good that you're going to let at least Todd Frazier, when you got a guy like Brian Hayes coming up that you need vocal, veteran guys to learn from. There's not enough. Mm-hmm. They just bring these young kids up, and all of a sudden you look around, there's 25 young kids. Well, that doesn't help. Like, I go back to when I first came up, Barry Larkin, Greg Vaughn, Pete Harnish, Nagel, like guys that taught Reggie Sanders, that taught me the game. I needed those guys to have the 12-year big league career. Like, so, just to have like these young guys and think, hey, that's how you do it. No, there's veteran players that need to teach the young guys how to be a pro, how to play the game, how to carry yourself on and off the field. Like, a guy like Todd Frazier is invaluable to a team, especially with young kids on it. And that's why when I look at the Pirates releasing Todd Frazier, I'm like, that's so tired because, dude, he could have helped out, especially a guy like Brian Hayes, like showing these guys how to be big leaguers.
Definitely. Yeah. Good stuff, man.
So, really all right, man. Great stuff. Yeah. See if I don't know if I hit stream or what.
I'll find it.
But
trust me.
See if the poopy.
If I have it,
the poop incident with Todd Frazier shows up.
Well, if it's on here, it's going to be on here, and then I'll tell you what, we're going to be shooting that all over the internet once we find it.
Oh my God!
If you didn't see it, it'll be on our YouTube page and everywhere else.
So, and I loved it too. I called him earlier, to come on, and he was at his son's practice, getting after it. You could tell he was getting after the kids too. I'm like, man, you sound like a tough coach. He's like, that's right. That's how we do it, Tom. We come down.
Don't bring your bats this week. Don't bring your bats. We're just doing defensive drills at 8. That's unbelievable. That's amazing.
I go, what are you doing?
I'm being told by Jess that is on the stream.
Is it really? Oh my God, that's so great. It's so great.
No poops in your pants?
Poops in your pants. Did you go poops in your pants? Oh my God. Hey, Frage, at the top, up where it has nofilter.net, you see that little refresh button? Can you hit that refresh?
Give me 1 second. I got to change the diaper.
Okay, go ahead. Change the diaper.
That's all right.
No problem, bro. This is real life stuff.
Right. But you're supposed to go on the pond. Yeah, you're killing. Daddy's trying to do something. You're not going to go there. Keep doing this. Oh, that's heinous, bro. That's heinous. Days, you remember these days.
You kidding me, bro? I got 4 kids. I was changing more poops. It was like I was the poop master for years.
God, Grant. This is really bad. Really bad.
Bro, you want to hear an unbelievable story? When my son Jake was like 1.5, he came in the clubhouse after the game. He was like 2. We had just got done with the game. I'm in the training room. Matty Krause comes in. He's like, Case, we got a problem. I was like, what happened? He's like, I think your son pooped his pants in the weight room. And not only did he poop his pants, he stepped in his own poop and then was running around the weight room. So, dude, here I am after a big league game making $8.5 million, full uni on the ground, scrubbing poop off the freaking. Yeah, I was like, I got this, bro. I was like, don't touch my son's poop. I got it.
That's tough, right, Grant? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bless your heart, bro.
Bless your heart.
Oh God, how do you want to sit that all the time? We're on the last night here. Let's clean her up. Hey, on the potty, please. Yeah, he's 2 years old. He'll pee, but he won't poop on the potty.
Dude, my son Andrew, when he was first trying to get him to go poop, he'd go hide in the corner. And I look at him like, what are you doing, bro? Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? Are you pooping your pants? He's like, he's grinding through it.
Good?
Yeah.
You feel better now, dude?
You feel better? He said, yeah. He said, you feel better? He said, yeah. I said, what are you doing there with the kids? He goes, dude, we're with DTA. We're at the Downtown Academy, just dominating these kids. I'm like, oh, it's so great, man. So, dude, he is one of the greatest personalities Major League Baseball has ever seen. 150 years in the game. Todd Frazier, great personality, one of the greatest guys. And man, this guy could hit, and he is the epitome of the American dream. The epitome from a Little League MVP, Little League championships, Tom's River for the, Little League World Series, all the way up to the home run derby, to the big leagues, to the silver medalist in the Olympics. Like, Todd Frazier's 35 years old. He's lived a lifetime of dreams that we could only all dream of.
Right. And so down to earth and so great as a person. So that was awesome, man. Thanks
kindest human ever, man. All right, man. Awesome.
You're the greatest guest booker in the country. And I keep saying.
That's right, babe. He was the first one that came through the audience. He knocked it.
Yeah.
He knocked into the
breaking
show.
Ground.
Beautiful. Breaking ground. All right, Gigi. Love you, brother. I'll see you next week, man. Great job, bud.
All right, dude.